morning, folks. Welcome to the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. Cassandra Terry, the mindset coach and founder of Manifesting Miracle Makers, rounded up her LinkedIn family and First, we've got Brian Smart, Mr. Content and Dadpreneur. He's striking the perfect balance between raising his youngest daughter and creating masterful content. Next, meet Denise Annalise Phillips, the gig expert and relentless traveler and writer. She turns every gig into an adventure. Then there's Jay Pascal, a storytelling strategist, a poet and voiceover artist. He's weaving tales that'll make you think, laugh, and maybe even change your perspective. And wrapping it up, we have Eric Clark, the soul speaker and author. He's here to soulfully help you craft your story and narrative. Get ready for a show filled with wisdom, inspiration, and the magic of family. Let's welcome Cassandra Terry and the rest of the family.
Hello. Welcome to No, it's not transformation. It's Thursday already, guys. It's not Tuesday anymore. I'm still not back on my work schedule, but it's Thankful Thursday. I want to transform. I think I want to keep transforming. It keeps coming up and keeps coming out, but it is Thankful Thursday, my favorite day of the week, where we stop, we slow down, we pause, we take time to be grateful, to focus on what we have, not what we don't have, to look at life from the eyes of abundance, not from a place of lack, because in doing so, we create a different mindset. We set ourselves up for the life that we desire. It makes it easier for us to run towards our goals. It makes it easier for us to see ourselves accomplishing those goals. So gratitude, it's a mindset. Gratitude, it's a tool. It's a way of life. It's a way of showing up and lifting yourself, encouraging yourself, allowing yourself to move forward with excitement, with grace, allowing you to be prepared to accomplish the things that you have set out for yourself, and knowing that you can do so. When you're grateful for what you have, it changes your entire perspective. You start to see more things to be grateful for. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. I've got a couple of my Fam Five with me. I know you guys on TikTok can only see me. Thank you for the hearts. I see them flying by. But I actually have a team of folks who we've got the Cassandra Terry Morning Show, and we're here Tuesday through Friday at 7:15 a.m. Central, and each day we're talking about something from all the way from transformation to being intentional. Today it's gratitude, and on Fridays it's about focus. Those are tools that if you choose to use them to your advantage, they are just that. They're advantageous. They will help you stay lifted, stay motivated, stay encouraged, so that you can keep walking and moving towards the goals that you've created for yourself. And so today our focus is on gratitude. For those of you who don't know me, I've got to get in the habit, especially since I've come back to adding my TikTok and my Instagram audience. The folks on LinkedIn and Facebook know me pretty well, but I'm getting to know you guys, and there's quite a few of you that have shown up, and I appreciate all the follows. TikTok audience, as soon as the live ends, I'm going to follow each and every one of you back, and we will continue to build this community. And it's a community that's called, that really focuses on the voice within. It is all about mindset. It's about tapping into who you are and what you believe to be true about yourself, because that will affect your life more than any external circumstance ever will. If you believe you can, you will. If you believe you deserve, you will. If you believe you can't or you shouldn't, you won't. So that mindset thing is powerful. You will see me and hear me say all the time, the voice within wins. What you believe to be true about yourself is exactly the life that you're going to create for you. So that's why we spend time every single day focused on mindset from different aspects, to make sure that we are setting ourselves up to win, that we're getting out of our own way and preparing to win at the life that we've been gifted with. We are clear about the goals that we have. We have a plan to meet those goals. And every day we're doing something. We're taking consistent small steps that are going to move us towards those goals. And part of that mindset is gratitude. When you wake up and start your day, it's the first thing I did this morning was thinking about what I was grateful for. There's a little area in my life right now that's just not working at optimal. It's not going the way that I want it to. It's not operating at its highest. So I spent more time this morning thinking about the things in that area that I'm grateful for. Because if I don't, I can allow myself to spiral out of control and only see the negative. And if I'm only looking at what's not working, if I'm only looking at the negative, then that's all I'm going to see. And before you know it, I don't value that part of my life and I start doing other things, right? It's an important part of my life. It's foundational. So I've got to give it the attention. I've got to give it the focus it needs. And gratitude helps me to stay in the mindset to do that well and to come from a place of abundance and positivity versus a negative thought of, oh, this just doesn't work, So gratitude is huge. I've got with me 2 of the Fam 5, Denise Anna Lee. She's coming to us from all the way from Grenada. She has been there, y'all, since October. This friend of mine puts her money where her mouth is. She decided when she became an empty nester that she wanted to travel the world, and she wanted to not just travel it, but impact it. And so she wants to spend a substantive amount of time in these different areas and actually feed into the economy, actually teach them how to do what she's doing and be remote and work and still make money and be able to support your lifestyle. And she's been doing that in Grenada now since October. I don't know when we're going to get her back in the U.S. I thought she was gone for a few weeks and it then turned into some months, but her connectivity is good today. And I am grateful that she is here with us. Finally, we haven't seen her in a while, but I wish you guys on TikTok could see her. She's absolutely stunning. She's got the Grenada sun effect. The skin is glowing, a big smile on her face, and the hair is gorgeous. She has the locals who have hooked up these braids and she looks fabulous. And I can't wait to get to Grenada and hang out too. So we're going to do some stuff there. What she's done is laying the foundation for us to do more there and in the other places. So I'm so proud of you, Denise. And I love the fact that not only are you living your dream, but you're impacting a community of people and showing them how they can do the same thing. So you're going to continue to be blessed in your journey because you are being a blessing to others. And then this cartoon character that you guys can see on the other social media platforms, that's Mr. Brian Smart, Mr. Content, aka the Dadpreneur, and he is dadpreneuring in full effect right now. He had the camera on and he has his little girl all wrapped around him right now. So he's probably going to speak a little quietly, not have the camera on because he's trying not to wake her up while she's getting the last of her morning sleep in. All Things Woman says sending prayers for All Things Woman to continue our work with unhoused women and children. Oh, that's amazing. And she also asked, how can we come and support her? Can we send resources? So that's a question for you, Denise. Denise, you and I are you on TikTok? Denise?
Yes.
Okay. So let me connect you both in a group on TikTok after we finish this up. So All Things Women, I will connect you with Denise, and then you guys can talk about how you might be able to work together and support each other's missions. So Denise, please don't let me forget to do that because I'm going to be rambling on for a bit now. So thank you for that question though. And thank you for your heart. Thank you for, being another person or set of people. It sounds like you have an organization that is doing something to impact the world, to make the world a better place, to make it easier for those who don't have it so easy. When we come from that standpoint, when that's you can't help but to be grateful, because when you see outside of your little community what's going on in the world, there's so much to be grateful for. Even if you don't have all that you would like to have, even if the house isn't as nice as you would like, maybe you've got one story and you'd like two. There are people who don't have a roof over their heads. There are people who don't know where that next meal is coming from. There are people who don't have the resources they need to properly care for and educate their children. Imagine that as a parent. Imagine the weight of that. And that is daily living for so much of the world. And we are coming from our homes with all of our connectivity. I've got lighting and cameras and a microphone. And when we actually think, our microphones were acting up this morning. And it's been happening a lot this week where the connectivity is just not quite right. We can get upset about stuff like that. We can go, oh, we're not going to do it today because technology is beating us. But we have technology to work with where others are wondering where their next meal will come from. That's some perspective right there. That is perspective. And when we decide to step outside of ourselves for just a moment, it doesn't take long and you don't have to look far. Around us, we see people in need all the time, and we want to empathize and we want to support, and we also want to realize just how blessed we are and be grateful and be thankful. And that's what today is all about. Let me see where the other comments that have come in. Let's see. Oh, Ruhi says there is an echo. Do you still hear the echo? Because I know we were hearing it if more than one person was unmiked. So we're trying to unmic one at a time to help keep that background noise down. And Ruhi also said gratitude is the attitude. Absolutely. Sonia, good morning. Ruhi says, wow, looking forward to connect with you. Uma or Alma, I'm not sure which is the right pronunciation for your name, but say grand risings, everyone. Grand rising right back to you. And Gashay says, following you from Ethiopia. I like the event. I am so glad that you're here. Welcome from Ethiopia. You may be the first. We do get people from all over, from India, from Nigeria, from the UK. We're seeing people all over the US, and you may be the first. If you're not the first, you're the second. It's great to have Ethiopia in the house and celebrating with us on this Thankful Thursday, because the fact that we're all here, if there's nothing else, just the fact that we're here is something to be thankful for. And I'm thankful for each and every one of you guys for showing up and being a part of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show this morning. And we are going to continue to move forward. And you guys on TikTok, because I can't connect TikTok to my StreamYard yet. So you can't see the screen the way everybody else is. I have you guys on a different device. So the quotes and the things that are coming up, I'll just read those to you to keep you connected, because I'm so glad that you are here as well. And I don't want to ignore you. We also have the Instagram audience that's fairly new. And I see Amita. Amita is one of my employees in India. Yay! I'm so glad to see you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then I see Caleb. So on Instagram, we've got German. Caleb is my nephew who's in the military, and he's stationed in Germany. And I see him there as well. Love you, baby boy. I'm so glad to see you. And I love seeing the world through your eyes as you get to see and enjoy that side of the world. I'm only a little jealous. I want the vision without having to go through boot camp and all the stuff that you did. So, so I can only be a little jealous. So welcome to the Instagram audience as well. So let me flash up. Oh, we got some more. Gathata says, following you from Botswana, Southern Africa. Lori says, no echo here on the space coast of Florida. Kindness Movement 2024. Thank you for doing the work that you do. Thank you for being with us. I almost wore my shirt that said, if you can't be anything else, you can be kind. Kindness is a superpower. It changes the world. It changes someone's mood. It changes the environment. Just like gratitude. So I love that. Kindness Movement 2024. And we have got an international audience with us, including my girlfriend here with us from Grenada. So I am so happy to see you all. I'm going to flash up for those of you who can see my screen. Africa VR Campus and Center is following now from on YouTube. Dee will be coming to Africa after Grenada. We own her now, and she will be home. It's 4:30 p.m. in Nairobi, Kenya. So you just gonna boldly take my girlfriend away from me? but I get it. Isn't she amazing? And I know she's done great work where she is, and she will continue to do great work. So all I'll say is that you're going to have to accept me too, because I'm going to be following along with her as much as possible in 2024. So maybe I will see you guys in Africa. We've been talking about it, and so I'm looking forward to visiting Grenada at some point and being with her on the Africa portion of her trips as well. So I don't mind sharing. And then Lori says, "Hi, Paul, Simon, Africa VR." So you know these folks, right, Denise? I see you smiling and nodding your head. So your following is showing up. It's awesome. It is awesome. So let me put up our quote for the day. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. And that was said by John F. Kennedy. It's not to just utter words, but to live by them. I can say I'm grateful all day long. I can say I appreciate this, that, and the other. But how do I show up? Do I show up from a place of gratitude? Do I show up light and happy and willing to serve? How am I showing up? Your words need to align with your actions. Your goals need to align with your values. When we are moving through alignment, from a place of alignment, we are so much more effective. So I love this quote by JFK. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. And Denise, I really believe that you are a shining example of that. You said what you were going to do as the relentless traveler. You were going to see the world, but you weren't going to just see it for yourself. You were going to share and impact, and you're living that. You are living that, and it's amazing to see. Love said, "Look at that beautiful, majestic crown." I think that would be my locks. I love my hair. And y'all, I try so hard because one of these days I want to do this professionally, right? More professionally, continue to build on the audience and be in different streams. And I catch myself all the time doing this, just petting it, just loving on it, because it has loved on me for a while now. And you know, when you started, you've just got this little oh my God moment, and then as time passes, it begins to grow and expand and become what you dreamed it would be. So I do love my crown. So love, thank you so much for that. And I'm gonna try to keep my hands in my lap and not pet it as the day is going on. Yep, there goes Denise. You can't see Denise, but hers is gorgeous. And I've passed the petting on, so she's petting her crown as well right now. So listen, I have talked quite a bit. So I want to give Denise, it's been a long time since we had you with us. So I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful on this Thankful Thursday to see your face, to see the sun beaming behind you, and to know that what you've been doing has been successful and you've successfully reconnected with us. So let me pitch it over to you. I'm going to mute so there's not a lot of background noise, and you take it away with the quote or with however it is that you'd like to share from a perspective of gratitude today.
Good morning. Good morning. I am so happy to be here. I can't even express enough how happy I am to be online, but also how grateful I am to have been offline for 3 weeks, not by choice, you guys. I wish I could say I was mature enough and at peace enough to just decide to go on a hiatus from being online for 3 weeks, but actually I relocated to a new spot on the island. It's closer to the community center that I volunteer at, but it's also more out, in the outskirts, as you will. So there was no internet where I'm at. And it took this long for the internet guys to get here. They drilled some holes in this house and got that cord through there yesterday. Ran a cord from way across the way. I took pictures of them and watched them work in this heat. So it's a blessing. So let me say first, that's Dr. Paul Simon Wayaki from Nairobi, Kenya. I welcome you. I thank you for being here, and to hear his name after all of this time. We've been disconnected but connected because we're never truly disconnected. We are working together, and he is a king, a real king, and a king of kings. So I welcome him, and you guys will hear his story. You will hear about his tribe. You will hear about the wonderful work that he's doing. And I'm proud to say, too, for him, and honored to know him, he is the first African on the metaverse. That's a big old title to be able to say, yeah, that's a oh wow. So I welcome you, Dr. Wayaki, and all the others who are here from all over the world. Welcome you guys. I want to get to the quote because I have to tell y'all a story. So, you know, they say when it rains, it pours. The internet has been out. And in the home that I'm staying in, we had a full refrigerator and freezer, which is a blessing to have, but it went out. We didn't even know why it went out. And it went out during the holidays. So on Christmas, I had this lovely family, Mr. Britton, his family, the mother of his children put together what they felt was a very American kind of a Christmas meal and brought it over here. And so I was really blessed by that because we had no refrigerator. So yesterday, and we've been doing ice, and the guy's supposed to come tomorrow. Yesterday, I decided to walk down to the market. I walked down to the market. I stubbed my toe and kind of re-injured my ankle walking down the hill. I decided to stop and make a video of a passing cruise ship. This is when I say this is a beautiful place, it's like I am walking around in a postcard. I have to stop and make a video of this cruise ship, which is just passing by, which we don't see in the sea. You're not just going to see a cruise ship passing by in the States. So I make a video. I get to the market. I get there too late. They usually have fresh fish. So I'm thinking we can eat. Well, I've never been there at night. No, they only have the fresh fish during the day. So I don't get any fish. So I buy my roommate and myself noodles, like what you used to eat in college, because that's all they had was this little pack of noodles and some cookies and some crackers. And I'm like, yeah, I'm grateful to be able to eat. We don't have no food up in here, but we have waters. I come back, I make the noodles, and I pour the whole packet in there. Well, I'm in Grenada. Their packet is full of spice, hot spice. I didn't recognize. So when I first bit into it, I nearly choked. It was so hot. I was like, the spice went all through my sinuses. I had to start laughing. I was laughing and crying at the same time. I was like, count it all joy. I was grateful for the moment. I said, okay, Lord, I'm laughing now. I'm like, thank you for the pain I'm feeling in my ankle. It means I'm alive. Thank you for the spice I'm feeling in my throat. It means I can feel. Thank you for the chickens I hear in the background and the goats and these loud birds that try not to let you sleep. I've gotten used to it. It's like music to my ears at night. It's louder here at night than the daytime because of nature's call. So I'm saying, count it all joy. There's a whole life happening outside of this little box. And don't forget to get off the internet and get outside. If you are able to, if you're not, even if you are, I was about to say, if you're not in a chair, even if you're in a chair, I have a family member who's in a wheelchair and we walk together all the time. If you are able to get outside and soak up the sun, if you are able to take a walk, if you are able to get out of your bed in the morning, before you go plug in and before you go plug up and get connected, stay disconnected for a moment so that you can be connected to yourself, to your human self, to your mind, to your body, to your soul. I've completed so much. My projects are done. My book is done. We're about to start marketing for that. Cassandra, I got to do the contract later today, but that venue we talked about, probably done. I'm very excited. We are going to be doing an event here on the island in March. Once I solidify everything on paper, we'll announce that hopefully by tomorrow. And we are doing an event in Africa with Wayaki and his people, with Paul Simon and his people. So what's the word I'm looking for? I'm beyond excited. I'm ecstatic, I'm blessed, and I'm grateful on this Thankful Thursday to not just be here, but be out here in the world and meeting real people. And I met Miss Grenada. Yes, Miss Grenada, the current reigning champion with her real crown. I met her. I mean, I'm just meeting people all over the world, and it's a beautiful thing. So maybe we can invite her as a guest one day. Maybe we could talk about that. It would be lovely to have her, share with the people as to what that looked like, So thank you guys for having me. I'm so just honored. I'm honored to be here. I'm happy to be here, and I'm grateful. I'm really grateful to have been offline during this time, which at the very beginning of it, it was stressful. I have so much clarity And I have an understanding for people as well. I came back to some messages that were not as patient as I'd hoped that they might be. I came back to people showing me who they are. And now I get to decide what to do with that. But I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it because maybe in all of my busyness online, we're online going from event to event and typing and doing all this stuff. Oh, I got to get this done, got to get that done. That we don't get a chance to breathe. And being able to breathe, I feel 100% physically healthy, which helps everything else work. Thank you so much, Cassandra, and everybody that's here.
You are welcome. I love that. And what you said, if I could sum it up into what really resonated with me, is all about mindset. The internet failed. She didn't have the connectivity for 3 weeks. Most of us can't even imagine 3 days. A lot of people can't imagine 3 hours. But for 3 weeks, without it being her plan, she did not have that connectivity. And I know she didn't because we were trying to connect. Thank goodness for WhatsApp. At least we were able to communicate a little bit on there, and I could soothe myself and know that my sister was okay. But other than that, she had time that she would not have otherwise had. And when that time showed up, she had a decision to make. How am I going to spend that time? Am I going to spend it brooding and upset because I don't have the connectivity that I'm used to? Or am I going to see that time as a gift and use that gift to move my projects forward? Use that gift to reconnect with nature. Use that gift to spend time doing some of the things and being able to do them wholeheartedly, not distracted. Do those things that need to be done that otherwise would not get my undivided attention because I'm running from event to event, because I'm online so much, excuse me, doing the things that I need to do. She had a choice to make. And guys, life is that. We are making, sometimes not consciously, but we're making decision after decision, day in and day out. And I want you to plug in and realize that you are making decisions. You're deciding how you're going to show up. You're deciding if you're going to move forward or if you're going to stop. You're making those choices by your actions, even if you don't realize consciously that that's what's happening. But our choices are compounding day by day by day, and they're taking us somewhere. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, am I going where I desire? Am I going into my gifting? Am I going where it is I really want to go? And if the answer to that is no, understand that you've got to make some different choices. Give yourself the power back. Be accountable. Take back the control and understand that if you want something different, you have to be willing to do something different. And we have that control. But first, we have to get real honest with ourselves. Look at that reflection in the mirror and go, girl, what are you doing? This is what you've done with your week. You said you wanted to accomplish this. But these are the things that you've actually poured your energy into, your resources. This is what you're focused on. This is what you've been doing. It's so easy to get lost and busy. There are folks that are vying for our attention all the time. There's new projects that are going to crop up. There's this new shiny object, is what I always talk about, that's going to grab our attention. And we're looking from there to there instead of keeping our eye on the prize. What's the prize? You define it. The prize is what you want to do with your life. The prize is the goals that you've set for yourself and you actually reaching them, getting to them. That's the prize. And in order for that to happen, you have to be really clear. You need that clarity. Where am I going? What am I working on? What am I trying to accomplish? And then you have to ask yourself, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? And when you ask yourself that on a daily basis throughout the day, why am I doing this? If the answer is because it's going to get me from where I am to where I want to go, hold on, let me see. Denise, did you need to pop in?
I want to say something is on my heart that I just want to share. And it really is from something that you said, because I do this thing, and I swear to you, I'm fighting tears right now. I do this thing where I got a happy face. I have a good public face, right? I can fake it all day long. And so sometimes when we're talking about our challenges, I do that thing and I talk about it from a very positive place. I talk about it from a very, I like to talk about the positive, not the negative. So I wanted to say that I just feel like somebody needs to hear this, whether it's now or whether it's later, you know, watching this later. We go through those really dark moments, and I hit a moment where I was ready to go home. And I feel like I need to share that because I hit a moment where I didn't even realize that I was thinking of quitting this journey because I can go home. Like I said, the refrigerator and freezer had broke. We were coming up on Christmas. I did end up having this lovely little Christmas, and I still hit this really sad moment that night as that family left. And they had come over here with the ham and the mac and cheese, and they were like, their mac and cheese is different. It's called macaroni bake. And they were like, we tried to make it American for you. Oh, it was so sweet. But I hit this really sad, lonely, dark moment that night. Normally, Christmas night, I'm watching a video with my kids. I'm eating the leftover peach cobbler. I'm eating cookies. I have a very big sweet tooth, so we make an entire dessert bar. I didn't have any sweets. I didn't have no leftovers. So it made me hit this place. And what I wanted to say was, I called my daughter and we were on video, and I told her, you know, I think I'm going to go ahead and call this thing. That's what I'm going to call it. Meaning, and she knows what that means. It means I'm done. I just couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel in that moment. And what I want to share is that when you feel that way, when you're in this dark place and you're in this place where you're trying to finish your book and maybe you lost it in your computer, you're trying to show up for an audio event and maybe you can't even talk because your throat is sore. You're trying to be there for your spouse or your partner, your significant other, or your family, and you don't even know how you're rolling out of bed in the morning because you feel like you've been hit by a Mack truck. You better take a minute. You better take a minute. You better talk to the one who made you and talk to somebody who knows you. My daughter knows me, and I thank God she's 23 years old now, and she is like, we're two peas in a pod. She's my best friend. And she's a beautiful human being. I'm very proud of that. I'm very honored by that. But I'm going to tell y'all, my daughter was like, okay, I'm going to tell you this, Mom, because I need to tell you it in a way that you're going to understand it because you're a tough cookie. She was like, I love you. But if you come home, I'm going to give you a spanking. She was like, you're going to get an old school spank. I'm going to give you a whooping. You better suck it up. She was like, this is the speech you gave me. And then she told me the situation where I told her, she said, you better suck it up. You better dig in because you are too close to helping those people and helping yourself. You're too close to being finished to let an emotional moment make you come home. I'd already looked up the tickets. I was ready. I could have got a flight. I could have just hit that charge button and got a flight. So I just want you to know that you better dig in. And if it's a physical thing, you have to dig in and get better. If it's an emotional thing, you have to dig in and get stronger. If it's a thing and you don't even know what it is, talk to somebody that know you. They'll help you suck it up and keep going because it's right around the corner. In 24, you're going to get more. So keep going. If you're at a challenging spot with your projects, with your physical, with your emotional, keep going. It's coming. It's coming. And I'm so glad I didn't go home. Thank you, Cassandra, for that extra minute.
Absolutely. And I'm glad, and I'm sure the people of Grenada are glad that you did not come home. And I'm so proud of your daughter because I know how much she must be missing you, not having you in the States, not having you for Christmas. And that was her opportunity to get mama home. And she pushed past what she wanted to give you what you needed. So that just double downs on what you said about the type of woman that you have raised. Because in that moment, if she was selfish, she would have been like, yeah, mama, I'll be at the airport to pick you up. What time you gonna get here? You've done a great job and we can't wait to get you. And she would have taken that. And we have to be mindful. We have to be mindful when we're supporting those that we love or those that depend on us or are asking us. We have to be mindful of where we're coming from. Because if she had come from the place of, I can't wait to get my mama home, Denise probably would have a different story to tell right now. And so make sure that in our giving, we're giving purely and we're giving what really is needed in that moment, and we've pushed down our desires for that individual, and we're seeing them as an individual, not their connection to us. In that moment, those were two women talking, not so much a mom and a daughter, because I know mama wanted her daughter wanted her mama home, but the woman in her allowed her to support her mother in that moment, to give her what she needed to keep moving forward. That's powerful. If nothing else is a testament of the type of woman that you have raised, Denise, that says it in just screams it from the rooftops. She's amazing. I knew she was from the very first time I heard her speak. I fell in love with her, but that just puts the cherry on top. An amazing woman. And she should be here sometimes too. So yes, talk to Miss Grenada. We'll bring her on and give her the different days of the week and see which day resonates with her. And she can come. And I'd love to have your daughter on too, because she is absolutely an amazing woman also. So yes to all of that, Denise. And you have a few comments that came in. Conchita said, thankful Thursday to everyone. It's going to be an amazing day. She's one of my favorite people who shows up in these rooms. She always talks about the fact that it's going to be an amazing day. And guess what? Because that's what she is determining, that's what she's going to have. Doesn't mean things won't go wrong. Doesn't mean obstacles won't show up. But she's in the mindset to deal with those things and keep moving forward instead of becoming overwhelmed by them, because she is setting her intentions daily on the type of day that she's going to have. So you are so appreciated. Thank you for that. Paul Simon Wayaki in the house. Thank you, my dear sister. You are a beacon. So get used to me too, because I'm coming, Mr. Paul. I'm coming. And Conchita says, yes, Denise, in all things give thanks. And Sonia said, thanks for sharing, Denise. And you're right. I mean, I think it's so powerful when we share. Most people, especially on social media, they like for things to be spit and polished and all pretty and wrapped up in a nice package. And that doesn't happen but a few times a year, right? When, your birthday, you get a pretty package. Christmas, you get a pretty package. Maybe your anniversary. But in real life, it's messy. It's messy. Things just don't look and show up exactly the way we would like. But you got to decide, am I going to keep unwrapping and dealing and working through this mess so that I can get to the gift inside? Or am I going to throw away the whole box? If you throw away the whole box, the gift is gone too. I am not the world's best gift wrapper. My husband wraps beautifully. Mine kind of, but what's on the inside? I've thought about you. I've given you what you like. I've given you something that I think is really going to put a smile on your face. If you get stuck in the wrappings, you probably won't pick my gift. You're going to pick somebody else's, because those corners are perfectly squared and you don't see any tape and it's nice and smooth, no wrinkles, pretty bow on top. They've nailed the wrapping. So if you get caught up in the wrapping, you may miss the real gift. The gift is on what's inside. And we're so visual. We're so in the moment. We're so overtaken by what we see that sometimes we forget that no matter what that wrapping looks like, you got to rip it up. You have to rip it up to get to the gift inside. And so focus on the gift. Don't get distracted by the wrappings and all the mess and things of life, because no matter where you're going, what you're opening, eventually you will see that there's a gift in there for you. Even in those tough times, there's a gift. It may be the gift of resilience. It may be the gift of knowing how strong you are. There is a gift in every situation. Conchita said, thank you, Cassandra. Fam5 on this platform always sets the tone for those amazing days. Grateful for each of your contributions to make the world a better place. And we are grateful for you. So Brian, if you're able to come off mute and do your share as well, now would be perfect. And if you would include in your share, Brian, the name of the book and the author. It has to do with just so many feet from gold. I can't think of the name of the book, but Denise made me think about that, because she was right there, right at the prize, and she was about to give up before she took that final dig and actually got to her gift. So that book resonates right now with what we've heard. So if you can share that as well, because I know that's one that you talk about quite often. So over to you, Brian.
3 Feet from Gold. I can't remember the author right now. I'm not in front of my computer, but 3 Feet from Gold. Yeah, it's a great book. And this quote that you got up here is taking me back to my childhood. You know, my mom used to always say, "Don't tell me you love me, show me you love me." And I think about that all the time. And I saw this quote this morning. I started thinking about, how can we show ourselves that we love ourselves? We talk about loving ourselves all the time, but do you actually show yourself that you love yourself? And the way that you can show yourself that you love yourself is by being grateful for what you have. I watched a movie the other night. Me and Bree watched a movie the other night. It was Jangles and Things. It's a Christmas musical with Forrest Whitaker and Felicia Rashad. If you've never seen that movie, watch Jangles and Things. We watched it again last night. She was like, "Dad, can we watch that movie we watched the other night, Jangles?" I was like, yeah, let's watch Jangles. Then by halfway through it, she was like, "Oh, this is taking too long. Put it on Angry Birds." So we didn't get to finish it, but we started on it for a second time. I'll probably go back and watch it by myself. But Felicia Rashad said something in the movie that stuck with me. Don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what's in front of you. Focus on what you do have. And the reason that was so important in the film is that Forrest Whitaker gave away 30 years of his life because his apprentice stole his life-changing invention. And he was done then. Then he lost his wife, and he lost his business, and he lost his daughter, all of these things. And he didn't focus on what he still had left, and that was him. That was his mindset, that was his abilities, that was the God that was in him. He lost that. And then sometime toward the middle of the movie, he started to get it back. He lost the fun in life, right? When his granddaughter came to visit him, that's when it started to come back to him. That's when he started to realize you could see the shell start to crack. You could see that softening, right? That appreciation for just living come back. And that's what when I think about showing appreciation, when I think about showing gratitude, I think about all the things that I have. You mentioned it when we first got on this morning, Cassandra. Look around and just be thankful for what you do have, right? Stop concentrating on the things that you don't. That in itself is really gratitude. Gratitude is believing that everything is already yours. When you have that faith, you move differently. When you move differently, that's how you express gratitude. Thanks, Cassandra. I just wanted to get that out. I don't want to wake Bree up, so I'm gonna jump back off.
Absolutely. Let Bree rest. And I did look up the book, 3 Feet from Gold, and it's Greg S. Reed and Sharon Lecter are the authors of the book. And
Sharon,
it is on my reading list for the first quarter because it's come up so many times. And a lot of, I think it's important to keep reading things, taking classes, expanding where what's coming in, because that all gets mixed up on the inside along with my experiences and becomes the things that we talk about. And so that one is definitely going to be added to the top of the first quarter reading list. I love to read. Conchita said, "Great definition of gratitude, Brian." Let me check. We have so many folks who have joined from TikTok. I thank you guys for that. I see we've got Mama G's Tacos who joined us from Instagram. We also have Deborah. She said, "Good morning." Good morning to you, Deborah. I see you there on Instagram. And this comes across as LaKay 420, but I know you. I know your real name. It's just escaping me right now as I'm looking at your name on the platform. But welcome to you guys as well. Thank you for joining. I'm gonna move it over to Jay, A little reluctantly. I did not expect to see you today, my friend. Jay has been under the weather, guys, and he was with us. No, he didn't make it with us yesterday, but he did his room last night, and his voice is unrecognizable. So I'm hoping that you're feeling better. I know you were doing all the things last night to take care of yourself and to start feeling better. But he said he felt like he got hit by a truck. So I'm not sure why somebody who got hit by a truck is here. But I love you, and but self-care is what's on my mind for you right now. I want to see you doing what's necessary for you to come back to us in full health, because you've been kind of a spiral. These colds and things are jumping on you faster and faster. So you're probably not getting enough sleep. You're probably not getting enough something. And so I'd rather you focus on that than us. But I know who you are. The It's just the character of the man. It's very difficult for Jay to not show up, and I so appreciate you. So don't take my words wrong. It's not that I don't want you here. I just want you healthy. And so tell Renee it's not my fault. It is not my fault. Tell Renee I have told you to not be here and to take care of yourself. We don't want the wife mad at us. But Jay, go ahead, and if you are able, unmute and whatever you want to share. We are here to listen, and feel free to drop as whatever you need to, because I know you're not feeling well.
Yeah, I still got that bad voice. I still got that raspy voice. Um, but I don't feel like a Mack truck hit me, so that's good. It's just my voice. Denise, I love you, sister. Thank you for sharing what you shared. I hear you loud and clear. I really do. Um, the what I want to say, what got me on here was somebody sent me a DM after last night's show, and I even jumped on. Um, I thought I jumped on earlier, but I think the adversary didn't want me to come because I actually ended up on yesterday's show for some reason, and I was there for like 20 minutes going, "What's going on? Where is everybody?" I jumped out, jumped back in, and I was still there, and I was on my phone. I said, "You know what? Let me go to my computer." And sure enough, I'm able to get in. I think it's a little bit of God too saying, you need to get back to bed. Um, but that message to me about gratitude to holding space last night makes me want to jump on today because, and I'll go to scripture, and it's the second book of Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 15. All this is for your benefit, so that the grace that is reaching more and more people may cause thanksgiving to overflow to the glory of God. And what that means is it's the idea that the challenges faced by believers, especially those involved in spreading the word, serve a greater purpose. The difficulties are not in vain, but are instrumental in reaching more people with the message of God's grace. So the resulting thanksgiving and glory to God is emphasizing the role of gratitude in somebody who's a Christian. The recognition that all good things ultimately come from God is important to me. And I want to show that, be that example. And hopefully it can encourage believers and non believers to persevere through their challenges, knowing that their efforts contribute to the greater purpose of bringing people into a relationship with God, with that higher power. For us as Christians, it's the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, and God. And that's why I wanted to jump on. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I hear Denise's message. I hear Brian's message today. 3 feet from gold. I ain't stopping my pickaxe because there's a greater purpose. And yes, I see Denise. I see that look in her eye. I'm going to go ahead and get my rest today, sister. I feel you. I know. I know. She's going to throat check me, especially with this messed up throat. I get it. I get it. But this is why I'm here. And this is a greater purpose. So, um, it, the technical snafu, my throat, it ain't gonna deter me from being here. And I appreciate what you said, Cassandra, because it's important. People need to take care of their health. Absolutely. I feel better. It's my throat that's just messed up. So I'll work on that today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being just a testament of the goodness of God and for showing up, being resilient, persevering, getting past whatever obstacles. I mean, again, you're practicing what we preach. You are showing up, and you can't help yourself because you are just who you are. We love you, so we want to make sure that in all that giving, that you put your oxygen mask on first. That you are taking care of Jay, because the healthier you are, the more of your goodness you can continue to spread, the more of your testimony you can continue to share. And so it's all coming from a place of love and of concern, because Conchita says, oh my, Jay sounds like Barry White for real. But then she also enjoyed what you shared, and she said, preach Jay, and she wrote 2 Corinthians 4:15. So like always, even in a different voice, your message is received, and not just received but felt. It always resonates. It always points upwards to your divine connection, and we so appreciate you bringing that. We absolutely do. We're just concerned, that's all. And where we are concerned, we are called to pray. So instead of being so worried and being so concerned, we just need to make sure that we've got you at the top of our prayer list, and that we are covering you, because you're doing your part. You are fighting, you are moving forward, you are determining, you're intentional that you won't be defeated, and that you're going to do what it is that you're called to do. And it's a great example for everybody who sees it. So our part in this is to not admonish you so much and not to give you a hard time, but to keep lifting you up in prayer. Eric said, put your oxygen mask on first. I love it, Cassandra. Let's go. Absolutely. That's the great Eric F. King, the compassionate closer, our sales coach. He teaches us how to do what we do without being pushy, to keep our focus on service and taking care of folks and giving what they need, instead of being so focused on the dollar and trying to sell. So welcome, Eric. Glad to know that you are here. Appreciate you much. So he's following today from TikTok. I see Eric everywhere. So he's on my TikTok feed right now. I think yesterday he was on YouTube. So I never know where he's going to show up, but I do know that he's going to show up. So there you go. Much appreciated, Eric. All right. So I just had one thing. I think everybody has gone now and given from the Fam 5. Everyone has given their, we've done our round table, and everybody's given their thoughts on gratitude and being grateful. So I did create an acrostic for you guys last night with the word thanks. So if you guys have your pens, you can write this down, but it's something to help you think about being grateful. It just helps. Acrostics help me really let things sink in. So we're going to start with the T, and T is trust in your abilities and in your journey. Trust in your abilities and in your journey. H, honor your progress no matter how small. it's so important that we see the progress. That's how we remain encouraged. That's how we know that it's working. We may not jump, we may not leap, take that great leap from point A to point B. But if we're making those small, consistent steps every day, we're going to get there, and you'll be able to look back and see all that you've accomplished along the way. And that will remind you to keep going, that you're getting somewhere. You're not where you began. The A, acknowledge your blessings, counting them one by one. So it's not enough for me just to say I'm blessed. I am. We all are. But when I actually take the time to think about why I'm blessed, what I'm blessed for, I count them one by one. That energy starts to fill you up. That gratitude and gratefulness starts to expand, and it lifts you, and it'll bring tears to your eyes. It does to me all the time, y'all. I grew up in poverty, small town Texas, more month than money. We were on public assistance. Me and my sister lived with my grandmother, and we didn't know all the time as we got close to the end of the month if there was going to be enough food before the next check and food stamps and that kind of stuff came around. That is how we lived. My grandfather died when I was 4. My mom had me very young, and my grandmother took over. She filled in that gap, and she covered for us the best that she could, me and my sister. And I lost her my senior year in high school. And I used to say it frustrates me, but I've allowed it not to, because I know it was a part of me being free to move forward and continue to develop the life that I was called to develop. I wouldn't have left if she was still there. So, but I want to be able to shower her. My life is so different than the way it began. It's so different. We didn't have hot water in our kitchen. We had to boil water on the stove or get water out of the bathroom tub, because the sink in the bathroom didn't work. So the tub had hot water, and that's how we would have to either get it from there or boil water to wash dishes. And so, talking about humble beginnings compared to where my life is now. My kids couldn't even imagine. They have no clue. Even though I've talked to them about it, it's different to hear about a thing to actually experience it. So they have no idea what their mother's life was like before they came into the picture. But by the time they came around, things were pretty balanced, 2-income home, a home, when that everything worked in it. We could just turn on the lights, we could turn on the heat, turn on the cool if we needed. The refrigerator had food. A completely different existence for them, and they've never known what it was like to be otherwise. And now my grandkids, I look at my grandkids, and their lives are so much better than what my kids' life was. So to see, just in my lifetime, my family dynamic change that way, it moves me to tears on a fairly regular basis, because something will happen and I'll stop and think, this little girl who grew up in Farmersville, Texas, didn't know much about the world outside of that little town. There were 30-something people in my graduating class. Y'all, 3 weeks ago, I was in India. I was at the safari looking at elephants and lions and tigers and bears. Oh no, that whole thing in India, another country. I've been to Singapore. I've seen a good portion of the world. There's a lot more to see, but I've seen more than that little girl could ever have imagined. Count your blessings one by one. It's not about bragging. It's not about look at me. But what I want to say to the little girl in you, the little guy in you, or if you're young and still in the grind, trying to figure out how your life is going to unfold, if your attitude is right, if your heart stays supple, don't allow your heart to get hard. If your heart stays soft and you continue to serve and love people, starting with you, you will one day look back and be amazed at the journey that this life is for you. I'm amazed every day. I really am. I am absolutely amazed. And I'm not alone. I'm not special. There's not something about me that says that, oh, well, this is just, no. This is everybody's story if you choose to take it. If you choose to look beyond your circumstances and see what life can be. If you choose to not get stuck in now and look at what tomorrow can be and go towards that with an open heart, excited to be alive, you will be shocked at how your life will unfold. Eric, your life is an inspiration to millions. Keep sharing your story. Cassandra is powerful. Thank you, Eric. And ditto, right back at you. So thank you for that. So count your blessings. That one actually one by one. Don't lump them all together and go past that one quickly. Dig in and allow yourself to experience what all has happened to you and the lessons from that and the blessings from that, and watch the next blessing unfold. The N, nurture your inner strength and resilience. Y'all know that is what I'm all about. My tagline is the voice within wins. We are more in our way than we will ever believe. We get in our way because we've got this inner messaging that's playing, that's telling us what we can and can't do, what we should and shouldn't have, all of that. If you can arrest that negative messaging that's playing, if you can take control of that and do the work to figure out how you can reframe that, hit it with the truth. You never get anything right. I've got lots of things right. That's why I'm here. I knew you'd mess that up. Well, that's okay. I'm just going to learn something from this experience so that I'm better the next time. You got to talk back to that negative messaging and take control of it, because in doing so, you take control of your life. You take control of your future. You set yourself up to be able to really have the life that you're dreaming of. But you have to believe that you can have it. You have to believe that you deserve it. You have to believe that you're capable of it. And if you do that, sky's the limit. You talked about the metaverse. I keep remembering that it's beyond the sky now. Beyond the sky is the limit if you're willing to do the work. So nurture your inner strength and your resilience. I'm a coach, guys. That's what I do. I'm a life coach. I focus on mindset more than anything. We will get to the goals. We will get to the things that you want in life. But before we do that, we have to make sure that that mindset is right. That you believe that you deserve it, you believe that you can have it, you're willing to tap in and do the work to make it happen. If we can check those boxes, doesn't matter what the goals are, you're going to get them, because you will do the work necessary, push through the obstacles and keep moving forward. So if you struggle with that mindset stuff, I'm here. I am absolutely here. DM me. I've got a free course that I mentioned yesterday. That's just a little mini course that just gives you a drip into what this is all about and how you can start to work with those negative messages and reframe them. It's a start. It gives you a taste of who I am and how I coach, and it'll help you. So if anybody's interested, just drop me a DM and I'll send it over. All right, so we're almost through. Thanks. The K, keep moving forward with confidence and focus. You've got to keep moving. So many people get stuck in their storm. So many people. I won't ask Jay to come off today because of his voice, but he's got a true storm story. A lot of times when we're talking about storms, we're talking about an analogy. This man actually lived through a tornado that lifted up his entire life, everything but the life itself. And it took it all away. His home, all of his belongings, everything. But by the grace of God, it left him and his family. And he had to start over from scratch and rebuild his life. And he said, by my faith and my DNA, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get it done. He knew what he was made of, and he knew who made him. And having those two pieces of information gave him the confidence and the purpose. His purpose was to make sure his family was good, to make sure that they were back and safe and secure. Know your why, and then confidently move forward. Not despite the storm, but with the storm. Because as you move through, you're getting stronger. You're getting stronger. You're learning things about yourself, and you will move forward. And eventually, the storm is behind you. And now that very thing that gave you that strength that you had to work through is now your back winds. It's accelerating your process because those same winds are blowing, but now instead of you fighting against them, trying to get through them, they're pushing you forward. The storm is behind you now. You're stronger than you ever were. You're wiser than you ever were. You know things now that you didn't know before. You incorporate all that into your life, and you can't help but to move forward. And so that storm becomes the winds that accelerate you towards your goals. So don't get mad at the storm. It's teaching you something. It's building muscles that you need for your level up. And then it's going to blow you even forward, closer to that level up. So let's see. And our last S, savor each moment, appreciating the richness of your life. We get so busy, guys. We have so much going on day in and day out, moving. Denise talked about it, from meeting to meeting, from event to event, that we forget to pause and stop and appreciate what we've accomplished to this point. Appreciate the blessings that have come to this point. There's been so many. And we don't do that about the hard stuff. We will stop and talk about and just ruminate in our failures and the things that didn't go right. And we just blow right past the blessings. If we can stop and appreciate each moment and really savor the life that we've been given, I guarantee you're going to find more to appreciate, more to savor, because that's the mindset that you're in. So it's absolutely important that you take that time. Don't get so busy running around doing so many things that you forget to appreciate where you've come from, where you've come to where you are. It will bless you. It will bless you. Sabrina Hill says, I agree. And Abdullah said, hearing from Bangladesh. Welcome, welcome, welcome to you all. We are coming to a close of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being with us today. We have truly had an international audience with us today. Most of the Fam 5 is here and was able to share. I ask you all to keep lifting Jay up in prayer, that he gets returned to his total health and then some, and that Denise continues to be impactful and enjoying her experience in Grenada, and others. Brian, the dadpreneur, that he's able to continue to show up and be the dad that little girl needs, because the role that he's playing right now, the example that he's setting right now, will determine the type of man that she's going to allow into her life in the future. She's not going to want a man that's less than dad. She's not going to want a man that doesn't treat her well, that doesn't show her that she's important, that she matters. And that's going to be because of the example that he's setting right now. And we honor that example as well. And then y'all just pray for me and my family. We are all doing the best we can with what we've given. And that's all we can do. If you can say that, if you know that you're taking what you've got and you're making the best out of it, you're winning. You are doing well. And we all have the ability to do that. I may not have what the next person has, but I sure can make good with what I do have. And that's what this life is about, that mindset. And so I do want to invite you all. Last thing for today, I have a vision board event that's coming up on Monday, 6 p.m. Central. It's a virtual vision board, so wherever you are in the world, you are able to join as long as you have an internet connection. We're going to spend an hour and a half, maybe close to 2 hours together, and we are going to start with a goal setting workshop, so that to help you gain the clarity that you need to really be clear about what it is that you want. What do you want to accomplish in 2024? And then we'll do the after you've gotten that, then you'll have the opportunity to build your vision board your vision board, so that you've got a visual representation of the things that you are fighting for, the things that you want to create out of your life. I have my vision board right there. It's looking at me. I'm looking at it all day long while I'm in my office, and it helps me to stay grounded and focused on what it is that I'm trying to do. So I will share. I think I've got it handy. Give me just a second. I'll throw up the QR code. So if anybody is interested, you can just scan the screen. I know you guys on TikTok can't see that. You guys on the other social media, you can, let me get rid of the banners because it's cutting off part of it. There you go. So you guys can scan that. It'll take you right to the registration. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Monday. I will do a post on TikTok about the Vision Board Party, and I will include the link for you guys who might be interested. We're going to spend a couple hours just getting really clear. What do I want out of this the next 12 months? And what am I willing to do to get it? And then we're going to create that visual representation that you can keep with you to help you stay focused on your goals. All right. So with that, guys, we are wrapping up Thankful Thursday. I'm thankful for each and every one of you. We will be back here tomorrow, 7:15 a.m. Central. It is the first Friday of the new year, I guess, and it is Focus Friday. So we will talk about focus, the tool of focus, and how you can use that to, again, accelerate the path towards the life that you are designing for yourself. Conchita said, Cassandra, I received my book yesterday. Good stuff in the Manifesting Miracle Guide. Thank you, Conchita. So please bring that. If you're coming to the vision board party, bring that, because part of a vision board, guys, is after you've got the pretty all over the board, is constructing your plan to accomplish those things. And the guy, what she's talking about, I did a workbook earlier this year, the M3 goal setting workbook. It's available on Amazon under my name. But it starts with the dream, taking all the constraints off and just allowing yourself to imagine your perfect life. And then from that dream, you pull out your goals. What are the things that you're really going to work on? And then I help you go from a year or two out to breaking it down to the quarter, to the month, to the week, all the way down to the day, because every day you need to be focused on what it is you're trying to accomplish and have a few goals in that day that's going to move you in that direction. So Conchita, thank you for purchasing the book, and thank you for mentioning that today. If you need any help with it, you know how to find me, DM, and we can jump on and talk about it. But that's the idea. Taking those big dreams and bringing them down to daily tasks so that you can help but to be successful in what it is that you're working towards. All right, so that is it for today, guys. Thank you also on Instagram for hanging around. I appreciate you all. And we will be back here tomorrow, 7:15 a.m. Central for Focus Friday. We will see y'all then. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. We hope that you join us tomorrow for another episode. For advertising or sponsorship questions, reach out to Cassandra or any one of the Fam 5 on their LinkedIn profiles. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, guys.